What's up, YouTube? It's your boy P Kid. This is Chicago Bulls Breeze. Breaking news. Not really at this point, but we got to talk about it. Fresh off of the All-Star weekend, we get Torrey Craig is injured for another 2 to 4 weeks. Now, of all the things I wanted to report it, obviously that's not what I wanted to discuss, but it is what it is. I mean, this is the news. We got to report the news as the news hits. What impact does this have on the team, though? Now, if you've listened to my last video, you saw the slim chance or the very probable chance that we had of gaining ground in the Eastern Conference. Torrey Craig was one of those individuals that his production on the floor, his energy, his defensive presence, just his go get it mentality allowed us to be competitive in ways that sometimes we just aren't. So him being out 2 to 4 weeks means that we're going to miss some of the most crucial games that we absolutely need to win. Again, there's some games that we need to win, and there's some games that we would be nice to win for us to gain significant ground within the Eastern Conference. The games that we need to win, he may not be available for. The games that would be nice to win, he's definitively not going to be available for, especially as we head into Boston. I think we have the Timberwolves coming up, things of that nature. So when you put all of that together, it's just another blow to what would be a all hands on deck type of thing that we really need to make it move faster for us to gain ground within the Eastern Conference. And I hate it. I hate it for him. Obviously, this is a situation that no one really wanted. He did get injured in a workout. I mean, it kind of is what it is. It just is what it is. I can't sit there and besmirch this him for being it. He got injured. All right. It just you get it, right? It just is what it is. Now, here's the interesting thing about this situation. It doesn't mean that the Chicago Bulls can lay down. It doesn't mean that this is one of those situations where it's like, all right, we don't have him. We can expect us to not have the same presence. These other players have to step up. And Billy Donovan has done a good job so far getting Julian into the lineup, making some different moves with the lineup since Patrick Williams isn't available. By the way, we'll have a video on him out tomorrow as well. Slight update on what's going on with him. Billy Donovan did mention some things on him. We will hear some feedback on Andre Drummond as well when it comes to his future with the Chicago Bulls. So we do have some inklings and some real news to actually report in the sense of how we are going to move forward. All that being said, the Chicago Bulls still need to gain some ground. Now, the one thing I will say ultimately about how this affects it, how Torrey Craig in itself really does impact the rest of it in a very interesting way from anything else is not having enough seasoned or veteran players in the right situations at times could serve to be a problem. I'm very conscious of that. I'm not to jump around too much on the topic, but just being realistic when it comes to having newer players and having younger players that you're trying to get up to speed. You're doing just that. You're taking younger players and trying to get them up to speed. And there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, you got to learn some way, somehow. However, when you're in situations like we are now, where we're really, again, trying to gain ground within the Eastern Conference, that learning curve may not be exactly what we want it to be as fans, and it may be, even though it may be exactly what's necessary for these individual players. And so I say all that to say, let's move into these next couple of weeks cautiously, a little bit optimistic. Obviously, we can even say have a little naivete about it if you want to say that, because the reality of it is the chips are starting to stack against us when it comes to how we can do it. Now, again, we are not a team that has no playoff hope. That's not the situation that's there. That's not what we're dealing with. But we are a team that is, again, in a situation where it's becoming more of a necessity to pick up all these remaining games as opposed to a nice to have situation. And that just makes it really tough. Last thing I want to say before we end on this one, we're really going to see, and we're really going to, these next last couple games are really going to test Billy Donovan's ability to get the most out of this team. Is he going to continue, or are we going to continue to see Kobe White thrive? That has a lot to do with how he's utilized. That also has a lot to do with him. I do believe Kobe is now at that point where he's unlocked to the point where he's not shying away from these moments. But will Billy Donovan give him those moments? Is Billy Donovan going to allow him to do that? Is he going to find and understand the delicate balance between knowing when Kobe White needs to actually be the one to lead and take over certain games? Or is it time, or are there moments where DeMar is actually better suited for it? Is he going to make the right decision in those moments? And are the players going to respond? I am looking forward to seeing how that works out. But I want to hear your thoughts, man. I want to hear your thoughts on Torrey Craig. I want to hear your thoughts on everything that we've been going through and what we have to look forward to with the Bulls, whether it's love, whether it's hate. Put it in the chat. I'll be in there with you. Till next time. Peace.